sales and outlets development. He has worked in Pfizer Products PLC, be counting it o, Livestock Feeds PLC, Econet Wireless Nigeria Limited, V Networks Limited, Celtel, now Airtel Nigeria, Visa Phone Communications Limited, and currently the Chief Sales and Distribution Officer, CSDO, at MTN Nigeria. A round of applause for him. Now I understand why, even if there is no network, MTN, and you want to send mail to Eystone, it will go. Only MTN, no. Only MTN, even no network. Even if it is inside what we call blind spot, where no network will work, MTN will send it as long as it is Eystone documents. Everywhere you go. So let's welcome on stage Mr. Adekunle Adebi. A round of applause. You see how it just come? Very simple. You go know say in the cell. I make am be like this.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good morning. You need to respond like salespeople. We need to see a lot of energy. I sent a few slides to the CEO. I've been asked to inform you that you need to put your phones on silent, but don't switch it off. You know why you shouldn't switch it off? In case somebody wants to buy land, that's a very good one. But it's because I work for MTN. I would not want you to put it off. If you put it off, I'll be losing revenue. So, I mean, I've just been introduced. There are quite a number of things that the gentleman that spoke now said that I cannot really align to. But simply that my name is Kunle Adebi, and I currently work as the Chief Sales and Distribution Officer for MTN Nigeria. But I didn't enter here alone, because we are actually on our way to Shagam. So I came with a very good friend and brother of mine who is actually a better salesman than myself, Kofo Ayodele. Please help me welcome him as well. Yes, Kofo, I think you should come forward, because anyhow, I'm still going to give you the microphone. If we have 30 minutes to share, I probably will take 15 and you will take 15. I apologize for coming late. It's not in my character. And where I met the CEO of Eystone, I went to speak to some CEOs at an event. Please sit. So I went to speak at an event and to CEOs of companies. I was invited by Sales Ruby. That was where we met. And after that session, something must have happened. Either he learned something from that session from me, or because I did say there that my aspiration, my aspirational position of CEO is what many of them in the room were already occupying. I'm not a CEO yet. I'm just a CSDO. But I really would love to be a CEO one day. So he started sending me messages that, okay, you would like me to come and speak to the team, the realtors. Is that what is called? Realtors? Okay, that word is quite alien. I know people sell houses and people sell lands, but you know that there's a lot of finesse and realtors. I like it. So we agreed, and I said I was going to come. That program that I went for happened in Ikeja, this beautiful hotel. I like the hotel a lot. I like their food more. Do you know the name of the hotel? Does anybody have an idea? The most beautiful hotel in Nigeria now, in Marriott. They know it, not Ibis. He built what? This one is Marriott. Beautiful hotel. I've been there like thrice. I like their food. I like their spa. They have some lovely restaurant. Anyway, they didn't send me to come and sell. But that was where we met, and I agreed that we were going to be here. And I live in Lekki Phase 1, and that event happened on Saturday in Ikeja, and within 20, 25 minutes, I was there. So today, because I was supposed to start speaking here at 10 o'clock, I said I'll leave my house, Lekki Phase 1, at 9 a.m. Is there fire, or is just a drill, or? Let's pray that it's just a drill. So I did say that if I leave my house by 9 o'clock, there's no way I won't get here before 10 o'clock. And by 10 o'clock, sharp, we'll finish. From here, we'll follow Ekpe and go to Shagamu and go for the most important event that I have today, which is party, really. We're going to party. Yeah, we're actually going to party. Okay, we work too hard, and we also like to party hard. As salespeople, if you don't party, then there is a bit of a problem, because what you do is a pressure-induced work. Whether you like it or not, as a salesperson, you must be under pressure. Do you align with that? If you are not under pressure, then it's either your company is not doing something right, or you are not doing something right. MTN, I mean, it's in the papers. We delivered 1.7 trillion naira last year. And the guy said, if you look at this guy, he's definitely a salesman. You can see that I'm not, I can't add body. There's no way, because I can grow fat today. Tomorrow, I'll lose the. So growing sales in real estate, or how will realtors be able to grow sales? What I'm going to share with you, can we have the next slide? I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not a motivational speaker, okay? It's only motivational speakers that will speak to this guy, and he will believe that he can carry that in front of him. So I'm not come here to come and tell you that, oh, if you just do it, you are going to get results. You can do everything that I will share with you, and that Kofo will also, bring to bear, and you will still not achieve your result. It's as simple as that. But just take some of the principles. I've never really sold houses before, but I have someone that if I want to buy a house now, I think we can forget this thing now. There's no fire. So there's a company that I always go to if I need to buy properties, Homeworks. I mean, I've done business with them for so long, so I don't even think about it. I just give them, if I have 1 naira, I just give it to Jide, and I forget it until I'm ready, and I say, where is my house? And he shows me my house. So one of the things he has done to keep me coming to him are some of the ideas that I would like to share with you guys, and what I've also done over the years that keeps customers coming back to me. So I'm not motivating you. I'm only sharing some of my own personal ideas in terms of how relationships, how etc. Next slide. So what are you selling? Houses and lands, right? Do we agree? Are you selling anything else? Okay, next slide. The next question is, what are the customers buying? That's not showing here. What are your customers, what are they buying? We agree, you are selling houses, right? What are they buying from you? So luxury, comfort, peace of mind, value, security, what else? So prestige, what else? It's benefit. What the customer wants to buy is the benefit that is going to derive from what you're selling to him. So nobody is really interested in buying carcass or buying block, or because he could have done that and put it together himself. But the benefit of buying the house is what is important to him. Why do I really need to? Either I'm buying it or buying the land to build a house. Either I'm buying to resell. Either I'm buying the building to use to do that thing that's very common now, shortlet. I mean, these are the reasons why the guy. It's not just buying a house just for the sake of buying a house. Next slide. Now, so who are the people that are supposed to be buying from you? Do you understand what your target market is? Do you know who your customers are? Who are your customers? Who are your customers? Do you know them? Who are they? Let's make it interactive very quickly. Who are your customers? You don't know your customers? Everybody. Very good. Friends and family. Next. People. Yeah. Investors. First time home buyers. About second time, third time. Are they all your customers as well? Somebody said people, but you said everybody. So anyone who is alive is a potential. Do we agree on that? So standing here, I can actually be your customer. If I'm a teacher in a school, I can also be your customer. It depends on where the land is and how much it is and my capacity. Okay, and you are not going to be able to determine people's capacity based on their appearance. So if I came in here now wearing white with a agbada with a nice cap, there is a possibility you will assume that I'll be able to buy a house. Okay, but coming in here, if they didn't introduce me that, oh, he works for MTN, you might think about it. You will want to ask me to come and buy land in Moe, right? Yeah, because just wearing a pair of jeans. This one, well, let's ask him to buy a plot of land in Moe for 500,000 naira. Okay, but I'll tell you that I can never buy land in Moe. Those are the kind of conversations. So anyone that is alive today is a potential customer. How do you put them in your pipeline? Then you need to set your goals. I mean, you have been having conversations. I'm not here to talk about what is in books. What have I done in over 20 years as a salesman? What are those things that we have done consistently? Are things that I will be using as examples. Okay, so sales, as it were, is target driven. If you don't have a target, you are not a salesperson. Okay, and your target, if you meet your target this year, the target next year will be correct. I have brilliant people in the room here. It has to be higher. Okay, and you are as good as your last sales transaction. So if you sell 20 million in January, you cannot be telling your company in February, on February 15, that after all, I sold 20 million in January. That one is gone, right? So you must own your target. You must understand your competitors. There are so many people. I think today, the one thing that everybody is selling is land and houses. It has never been this big. Okay? The good thing is you also have loads of customers. It's quite difficult to compete with me. Okay, so I have my competitors: Airtel, Glow, Nine, like that, and all this Smile, and others. Okay, so I know my competitors. Okay, you probably cannot even understand the number of people that are competing with you, because I can stand up tomorrow and say Kunle and Sons, and I'll start recruiting realtors, because just give me land somewhere and I've become a real estate. So you must understand your customers, try to understand their unique selling propositions, and of course, you need to identify your own. You know your own. What are those things that stand you apart, that stands your company apart? Is it that you deliver on time? Is it that when you collect money from people, you make sure that you deliver to them? There are so many things, because you need to also be giving the feedback to your organization on things that will make people want to buy from you. Okay, like I said, Kofo is also going to speak. So next slide. So having understood all that, what are your people buying? We already dealt with this. Next slide. Let's go to the next slide quickly. So how do you sell to the people? How do you sell to your customers? You know them. You have said that there's anyone that's alive, right? Did we agree on that? So how do you sell to them? How do you sell land to somebody? How? Say that again. Through social media. Okay? Brilliant. When we started selling, there was no social media. But there was no media. Only post office. Many years ago. Face to face. Yes. More. Sorry? Personal communication. Okay? Emails, door to door. That's my favorite. door to door. Next, flyers, phone calls, any more, any other one? Email marketing, brilliant. SMS, okay. Are we all doing that? Rally. You can set up an event somewhere to speak to people. Brilliant. Seminars, conferences. Now, have you ever gone to a burial where they are having a funeral and people are partying, and you look at the people and you start to give them flyers? We're selling land. We're selling land. Have you ever done that before? You have not done it before. Try it. Yeah. You know, in those days, when I was the sales director for Visa Phone and we just started in Abuja, I told all my staff, you must go look for invitation cards of all parties. Then we go to printers, people that print invites, and we started picking addresses of parties and dates from the printers. And I'll send my team members there to go and set up. Of course, they wear their Visa Phone, lovely t-shirts. They set up, and they started going there. Do you go to churches to try to get people to buy from you, and mosques? You do that. That's anywhere where 2 or 3 are gathered. Huh? So it's not just Jesus Christ that is with them. You also have to be there with them. Okay? So start to take advantage of the gathering of people. Because what you are trying to do is to fill your pipeline. There is a conversation around the 80-20 rule. Okay? 20% of anyone, the number of people that you prospect are the ones that will respond. Okay? The bigger your bucket, the bigger your 20% will be. Okay, it's Pareto's principle, and it's something that is normal. So everywhere where people gather, you must be there with them, and you have to do it tirelessly. You have to be very happy doing it. Sales job is not for people that are, it's not for unhappy people, because if you are not happy, you cannot sell to me. If you are not a happy person, you can't sell to me. So you must be consciously happy. I received a WhatsApp message. You know, WhatsApp is very intrusive, from a lady yesterday. I didn't know who this person was. And said, I got your number from my friend. I'm sorry that I'm intruding, but I'm going to send you a link. Can you kindly check out this link and see what we do in our company? Because I want you to do business with us. In fact, come and invest your money in our company. I didn't open that link. I was upset, okay? But out of 10 people, maybe 2 people will just look at the picture and say, pretty lady. Okay, let me, then business will start. You must do everything that is possible. I receive millions of messages on LinkedIn on people that are trying to sell 1 or 2 things to me. Next slide. Now it looks like it's not put on. These are in the books. Hot calling, cold calling. Be an expert salesman. Okay? Or when I say salesman now, there are no saleswomen. Okay? Sales force. Okay? We're salespeople, and we are all like men. Is it everyone that you speak to that will buy land from you? Is it everyone that you speak to that will buy a house from you? Now, if you try and this person doesn't buy, are you going to stop talking to others? You must pick yourself up and be happy, because the guy who didn't buy today might actually buy tomorrow, and now even connect you to many more people that will buy from you. Okay, so targeted referrals, social networking. You've spoken so well about how you use Instagram. Next slide. You'll see the impact of Instagram on these things. Pictures. I'm on Instagram, and I receive loads of messages. When you want to sell a house or a land, okay, these are questions that I always like to ask people. Okay, who is the decision maker? Who in a family, okay, of man, wife, and children? The husband is the decision maker. Say that again. Most times it's the wife. In my house, is also my wife. But I'm the one who will pay. But she's the one that will decide where the house will be. She's the one who will decide the size of the kitchen. She's the one who also will decide what kind of furniture or the branding that will be in the kitchen. So a lot of us men, all I say to my wife is just show me the size of the bed, the side of the bed where I'm going to be. Don't bother me about. So in a lot of cases, it's the women, it's the wives that determines. Do you know the next most powerful person in this decision-making process? Is it the girl child of the man? If you find it difficult to get to him through the wife, try the daughter if he has a daughter. Like my friend here. Just mention, Kovo, give me this thing. He says, no, I just mentioned his daughter's name. I'll get it from him. And I have the same kind of relationship with my daughter. They are extremely influential. The guys, the truth is the boys really don't care and they're not going to ask for too much. But my daughter will say, this is how my room should be. It has to be this color. I don't like this kind of bed. And in fact, even me as the father, I'm consciously taking my 11-year-old daughter to go and look for the things that she really wants. I don't know why, but she just has to be happy. What are the current needs of the people that are? I don't need land in Mowe, so you must identify and try to segment your customers and understand what they really need. Maybe through probing, through asking questions, you will understand where you can. If you want to sell a house to Kofo now, you must be talking about a house in Ikoyi because that's our conversation every day. You can't tell him now to come from Chevron towards this Shangotedo now to come and buy land with what we saw today in traffic. Okay? So you must identify all these in your customers. Have you sold to anyone that is close to them that you can use as a reference? Because if you are so good, if you sell to people and you are so good, you deliver on time, that's very important, okay? Integrity, you form a relationship with the person. Sometimes you send messages, Happy New Year, we've added Happy New Month over some time now. I think pretty soon we are going to start to add Happy New Day. You know, when you send such messages, it makes me happy. Happy New Hour, Happy New Second. The more messages you send, you remember, the more money I make because I work for MTN. Next slide. Okay, so we've discussed this. These are channels through which you can use. Next slide. I really want Kofo to speak. Now, how do you prepare? What does it take for you to prepare? And this guy, Abraham Lincoln, says, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. How do you prepare to even go and meet someone? Is it by accident, or you prepare and you say, we're going to this place today? 20% of the people that you give flyers to at the funeral will have a need and they'll call you. Just make sure that your phone number is on it. Whether it's, as long as they are drinking. In fact, when people start to drink and they start to party, you need to remind them that, okay, you need to have a household. So you don't use all the money to drink. Next slide. Okay, will your customer introduce you to others? The people that have bought land from you today, do you think, just a question, do you think they will introduce you to other people? Are you sure? Or you have quarreled with them that they will never ever, or you didn't deliver on time, or you collected money from them and you did not perform, or you give them an appointment for 10 and you get there at 10:30 like I did today. Next slide. And I feel very sorry about it, okay? So we'll discuss this as well, okay? Fill your pipeline. Next slide. Okay, this also applying the culture of the 80-20 rule. Next slide. Still talking more about how important this is to fill your pipeline. Next slide. Okay. Are your customers your fans? Are they your raving fans? Are they the ones that are saying, like I do now, without getting paid a dime for homeworks? Look for homeworks on Instagram. I bought 2 houses from them, okay, where I live now, where I used to live, and I've introduced that guy to virtually everyone that needs a house. Yeah. And the guy, when I went for his 40th birthday, he invited us to one beach house. I met the dad, who was a professor in Unilag, and I said to the dad, Daddy, thank you for giving me a younger brother. I didn't know them from anywhere. Okay, but when he sold to me, he stood by us, He ensured that the estate did everything possible. You must stand by your customers and get them to start to trust you. And this didn't start today. I started my career by selling poultry feeds, chicken feeds, unjadi, for livestock feeds. And I was a rep in Delta. I became a manager in Benin before telecoms, before this GSM. And one of my friends came to my house and met my girlfriend, who is now my wife, and said, if you go to your dad now and he says, who is your boyfriend? You say, his name is Kunle. Then your dad will say, what does he do? Will you tell your dad that he's selling poultry chicken feed? And my girlfriend told me when I got home. And I felt very bad. But now I sell recharge cards. Next slide. Okay? So, how do you keep your customers? So we spoke about relationships. Okay? It got to the point where the partners that were buying from me cannot afford to buy from anybody else. They can't, if they have not seen me, they will not take decisions. Do you have customers like that? Who, if they have 10 million naira now, it is you they will call before they will take any decision. I had customers like that. Things are a lot easier now because of telephones and so on and so forth. In those days, I would drive to the house of my distributor, pick his children on Monday morning from Ugeli and drive them to Benin, Uniben, drop them in their school, then go back to my office. It was, the relationship was that personal, you understand, to the extent that if Sanders Feeds now goes to the man, he will say to them, over my dead body, okay? And I maintained that relationship, and I was able to grow sales from maybe 65 tons to 165 tons within 6 months. It was unbelievable, okay? But today, I mean, so how do you ensure that you grow your sales and you perform better than your competitors? Are they your fans? Sales is a consequence of activities, the right activities. Sales does not just happen, okay? You cannot now sit at home and expect that somebody will call you that they want to buy land or to buy a house. You must find a way of engaging them, okay? And of course, you have to stay hungry. You have to stay foolish. That's what Steve Jobs says. But in my office, they added this one. Stay humble. Don't ever be arrogant when you start to succeed. Does that make sense? This is very important because definitely you will succeed. Let me ask Kofo to say one of the things, so just wrap up. I think we still have 3 minutes, I mean. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you very much. But what can I say? He has said everything, but I think I want to emphasize on one particular thing, which is relationship. Uh, Maybe to drive home the message, for those of us who sometimes read the Bible, you know a story of a woman who lost her husband, and she had 2 sons, and they were going to take the sons away, and they said he was owing money. And then he went to a prophet, and the prophet told him, go and borrow pots as much as he first asked, what do you have at home? He said oil. And the man told her, go and borrow pots of vessels from your neighbors. Now, there is a lot that is wrapped in that message. She carried the vessel she could carry, went to the house, locked herself, poured oil into it. She had plenty. And the prophet said, she said, I have oil, what do I do? Go and sell. Meaning, you can never be successful if you don't know how to sell. As a matter of fact, the degree of wealth you have is a function of how well you sell. Then number 2, assuming that woman does not relate well with her neighbors, you will see that that will limit how much vessel she can borrow. So if you don't know how to invest in relationships, invest in your network, you will never, it will limit the degree of success you can have. If she only has one friend that she can borrow from, that is the amount of vessel she will have. Now, what if she has a particular friend who is the friend of everybody? Then she can use that friend to reach everybody and get more vessels so that she can sell. So my chief has said everything, but the point is you have to be deliberate in reaching out to people. I can talk about strategy, but time will not permit. But it is a deliberate effort to clearly map out who you want to reach out to and with what are you going to reach out to them, and continue investing in that relationship. I'll close by this. I have an uncle which every time he calls me, it's only when he needs money. So one day, it just dawned on me that this guy is very silly. I'm sorry to use that word. He has never called me one day to say, hey, how are you doing? Hope all is well. How are your kids? Oh, is everything fine? Ah, Kofu, I saw something there. Will you be interested in it? You know, that's deliberate action to build relationship. But all he wants is just to come and collect. So if your customers see you like that too, that, oh, it is when you want to sell. Now, if you do not understand, it's not about you must do exactly what the chief did by carrying people around. But if I understand you as my customer, oh, and I see something that can probably help your career and I share it with you, that is something. The more you understand your customers, the more you will know activities that will help in engaging them better. So the key word here is be deliberate in building your network. Be deliberate in building relationships. The success we all attain in life is closely tied to how well we sell. Selling is the only job everybody must do in this world. If you are not good at selling, you can never be highly successful. Just keep at it. I hope we will have some other opportunities where we can talk more about strategy. But this is just few words from me. Thank you.
Okay, a round of applause for them. We can entertain just 3 questions. Please ask questions related to this. Don't be asking questions, what is a duplex? So, how many people want? Don't they vex? Okay. 1. Who again? 2. Nadeshim. 2, 3. Okay.
Sorry, please. The last statement, be deliberate. Please clarify, capture that, please.
All right. Being deliberate is I heard somebody say intentional. Yeah, it's same thing. It's about taking cautious or conscious actions that you know will lead to relationship building. I also used to be in telecoms. The chief was boasting that his customers cannot buy anything without him. MTN is big. That time, unfortunately, he was in Visa phone. I was the one that would decide that customer at that time. If you buy Visa phone, you will only buy this amount. I dealt with him a lot that time. But it was a deliberate thing. That particular distributor, I didn't start on a good note with him. Perhaps I was coming from Nestle, all the niceties of a multinational. Then I went to a global and I was sharing presentations saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. Guy looked at me and he said, Mr. Man, all this your English, eh? This is how we do this thing and this is how we get the result. I said, if I continue this way, I will lose this man. I calmed down. I learned his ways. I understood how he does his business. And I started seeing opportunities. Oh, you can do this. It will give you this thing you are looking for. You can do that. It now moved from business to even personal. Oh, don't do this. It can affect you in life. We don't do this. He wants to make a decision to buy something. I remembered telling him some time ago that don't buy this land. He went ahead and bought it, and he lost his money. He came back to me. He said, "Before you told me I shouldn't do this." This distributor in December 2010 gave 1.4 billion. That performance made Adenuga give me a car gift and a 5 million naira gift, just dash. So the point is that it takes a lot of thought, takes a lot of effort, and you start by understanding the people. So, and it is from understanding that you will be able to see opportunities in areas you can contribute. Where will you contribute? People must see you as someone of value. That's my uncle. I blocked him because he is adding no value to me. And there are uncles or aunts or cousins that I can't do anything without first calling them. Can I do this without letting somebody know? Yeah. It's how valuable you are to people. And you can only be valuable to people when you have really impacted them one way or the other. Yeah.
Okay. For the next question.
Thank you. I just want to ask. One might say, I don't have a job, so let me get a job, and I can sell on the side. Is selling a side job something you do full time? And if you understand my question.
Your question is very clear. It's selling a side job or a main job, right? I've always been a salesman. That's all I've done all my life. In fact, I've been so worried that is there any other life for me other than selling something? Okay? It depends, because if you're going to be deliberate and you are working for an organization that will not tolerate you not performing, I know what you're saying. So you work in a bank or you work in another company, then you say you are a salesman. Anytime you have time, you will go and sell something. If you are selling land and maybe you are just you're selling on commission, okay? If you sell, it's fine. If you don't sell, it's fine. That's different. But if you have been employed by an organization, you will have a target. Will you be able to meet that target while still working somewhere else? It's not possible in a lot of cases. That would be my own response. So there are two ways to look at it, and it's not one size fits all. I work for MTN. I'm the chief sales officer. I can't combine it with anything else. Everything in my head is. I've received 2 calls now. I didn't pick, and the people that are calling me chief of compliance, and so there's always something to worry about. So if you are selling land and your target is 300 million, I've seen 300 million. Is that for one person? What, 300 million naira per person? Very good. That's very good. I mean, it's achievable. Can you combine that with something else? How many houses will you sell to achieve that? Maybe one, okay? Now, if it's land that is 5 million, how many plots of land will you sell to achieve 300 million? Will you have time to do something else? You won't. So there goes the answer. Yeah. The last question. Oh, it's the same question. So we can wrap up. Okay. I mean, thank you. The ladies got it quicker. So the ladies did not ask any questions. Thank you. I mean, where we work, we have also been told that the ladies are sharper. They are smarter. My wife is 100 times smarter than I when it comes to investment decisions. Sincerely speaking, I will not lie to you. When my friends wants to make me feel unhappy because they've asked me to do one investment and I get home and I'm telling, why have I not done this investment since my friend is doing this? She will ask me. So these investments that your friends talk you into, how many of those investments have you done that you have really shown any real profit? I would think it's true. When I did this one, my friend made money, but I lost money. Then she will ask me, the ones that you decided on your own that, okay, you and I are doing, okay, you put your money. How much have we made from that one? I say, it's true. It looks like that one is making money. She will now ask me, why are you worrying yourself? It's only then I will be able to sleep well. So I give it to the women. Yeah, I mean, you must clap for yourselves. And there are better salespeople as well. Okay, we will need to find a way. If I were you, I'll be closer to deliver as a man. Move close, especially in this field that you are in. When there's a party somewhere, go with your colleague that's a lady. When you now have order for 10 plots, please, ladies, share it. Let the guy also take. Let them don't take everything. Let them take 2 as well. Thank you very much, everyone.